That morning began like so many others in New York City, an orchestra of routine. The sidewalks were alive with hurried footsteps, the shouts of street vendors hawking bagels and coffee, the endless rumble of taxis impatiently leaning on their horns. The air carried the familiar mix of roasted peanuts, exhaust, and something sweet from the bakery on the corner. I remember glancing at the sky. It was impossibly clear, the kind of blue you could almost fall into. People moved with their usual city rhythm, late to meetings, clutching newspapers, answering phones. It was an ordinary Tuesday, and then, an interruption so sudden it barely fit into comprehension. A sound that didn't belong. The roar of engines too low, too fast. My eyes followed the unnatural shadow cutting across the sky, and in a heartbeat the plane disappeared into the North Tower. A fireball burst outward, glass glittering like shrapnel in the sunlight. The air itself seemed to stagger. Confusion swept over the streets. Some screamed, others froze, clutching their phones, trying to call loved ones. I heard a man mutter, "It must have been an accident," his voice trembling as if he were trying to convince himself. But when the second plane carved its way into the South Tower, denial dissolved. We all knew then, this was deliberate. Later we'd learn the names. Al-Qaeda, a militant group fueled by an extremist vision of Islam, driven by fury over America's military presence in the Middle East, by grievances from past wars, by policies that deepened resentment. They had tried before in 1993 with a bomb in the North Tower's basement. This time their intent was not damage but spectacle, not warning but devastation. On the ground, the human world bent beneath the weight of disbelief. People ran, choking on dust and ash that poured into the streets when the first tower collapsed, in a sound like thunder tearing the sky apart. Papers fluttered down like grotesque confetti, while shoes lay scattered where their owners had fled. I remember the grayness most, the way the city lost its color, faces streaked with soot, breathing through torn shirts held to mouths, phones ringing endlessly in pockets that would never be answered. And yet within the horror, there was a strange solidarity. Strangers clasped hands to pull one another up from the ground. Firefighters pushed forward into the choking smoke, vanishing up stairwells most of us would never climb. Police guided the panic toward safety, even as their own eyes betrayed the fear they buried. Ordinary men and women became lifelines, carrying the wounded, sharing water, holding each other when there was nothing else to hold on to. When the second tower fell, silence followed, an awful, ringing silence. It was the kind of quiet where